This is a most wonderful and high calling and commission from our Lord. Jesus here says to his disciples, "You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world, and your light must shine before others." And so I must say it again to remind us, it is good to be Catholic. It is so good. As Christians, as a church, as disciples and missionaries of Jesus Christ, we have the most beautiful and epic story there is. There's no other history of any body or culture of people that can even begin to approach the greatness of Catholicism. And this is why I must remind us, it's so good to be Catholic. It's so good to belong to our church, this community, this body. And I remind us because a concern is, problem is, there's a lot of doom and gloom out there these days. An overwhelming feeling of gloom, certainly in the conversation and the feeling of the world. But in fact, it's really creeping in and spreading in our church among us faithful. It's this prevalent narrative among so many commentators. It's in the secular realm, but it's also very present in the church realm. And there's no shortage of commentators who are painting this picture of gloom. We are living in a time of gloom. And to be clear, we do find ourselves in a fallen, dark world. There's no doubt. And a gloom does surround us. But we know this. It's part of our story. It's the catastrophe of that aboriginal sin. There is no utopia on this earth, and there never will be. Thick clouds indeed envelope us while we're on this earth. But, what is our full story? What is the story of Catholicism? We hear the dawn from on high shall break upon us. It's the story of Jesus Christ, the story of the Son of God who came into this gloom, this darkness, to bring healing, hope, and joy. Jesus, I brought this up last week, God from God, light from light, true God from true God, gathering a community, people around himself. He taught them and he taught us, you are salt of the earth. You are light of the world. And so your light must shine before others. Our world is in need of bright lights. And so that question was, what, if anything, did Jesus Christ bring into this dark and gloomy world? What has he brought? We know the answer. It's very simple. He brought God. He brought God. But now, and further, we might ask, what has the Catholic Church done for the world? What has the Church done? In 2,000 years, has the Church really done anything? And precisely, we have brought salt and light to this world in in need of salt and light. The church has brought healing, hope, and joy of Jesus into this dark, gloomy world. This is part of the reason, I hope part of the reason, all of us are so proud to belong to this church. And just, some of our history, to realize our family is made up of every race. Every race. We're young, we're old, we're rich, we're poor, we're men, we're women, we're sinners and saints. We've spanned the centuries and the whole globe. With God's grace, our church started hospitals to care for the sick. Hospitals come from our church, Christians. We establish orphanages. We help the poor. We're the largest charitable organization on the planet. We just celebrated Appreciation of Catholic Schools Week. As a church, we educate more children than any other scholarly or religious institution. This is our story. We have, as Christians, Catholics, developed the scientific method and the laws of evidence. This is what we've brought to the world. We founded the college system. Colleges come from our church. We defend the dignity of all human life, staunchly, from conception to natural death. And we uphold the institution of marriage and family life when the world would confuse it and tear it down. We uphold marriage and family. This is our history. It's our story. The raising up of saints who have brought salt and light to this earth, the healing hope and joy of Jesus Christ into a dark and hurting world. So what a gift it is to be Catholic, to belong to this body, a body who has brought so much salt and light to the earth. But the question, because there's what the church has done, but we all need to ask the question, as a Christian, what have I done? And what am I doing to be salt and light in a dark world? How am I to be a light here in this place and this time, in this community? How is God asking me, not others, how is God asking me to be a saint?